There is one rule that separates ordinary men from extraordinary men. It's not luck, it's not talent, and it's not even intelligence. Many people assume that dominating life requires special advantages, connections, money, or natural ability. But the truth is much simpler. The men who dominate life follow one rule that most people ignore. A rule so powerful that if you master it, your entire life begins to change. Your confidence grows, your focus sharpens, your progress accelerates, and slowly you begin to move ahead while others remain stuck. That rule is simple, but not easy. It is the rule of complete responsibility for your life. Men who master this rule dominate life because they stop waiting for change and start creating it. There are two types of mindsets that shape how men approach life. The first is the victim mindset. Men with this mindset believe that their lives are controlled by circumstances. They blame the economy for their financial problems. They blame other people for their frustrations. They blame bad luck for missed opportunities. And while some of these factors may be real, focusing on them creates a dangerous habit. It removes power. Because if everything is someone else's fault, then you have no control. The second mindset is the responsibility mindset. Men who adopt this mindset ask a different question. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" they ask, "What can I do about it?" This shift changes everything. Because the moment you take responsibility, you gain the power to act. Control is one of the most valuable assets a man can possess. Without control, life feels chaotic and unpredictable. You react to events instead of directing them. But when you take responsibility for your actions, habits, and decisions, you begin to create control. You start focusing on what you can influence rather than what you cannot. Your daily choices become more intentional. Your actions align with your goals. And slowly, life becomes less reactive and more purposeful. Men who dominate life understand that while they cannot control everything, they can always control their response. And that response determines the outcome. Responsibility naturally leads to discipline. When you accept that your future depends on your actions, you begin to treat your habits seriously. You wake up earlier. You manage your time better. You invest effort into meaningful work. You prioritize growth instead of comfort. Discipline is what turns responsibility into results. Without discipline, responsibility remains an idea. But with discipline, responsibility becomes progress. Each disciplined action strengthens your character and builds momentum. And momentum is what allows successful men to continue moving forward even during difficult times. Excuses are one of the greatest enemies of progress. They're, comfortable. They allow you to explain away failures without confronting those uncomfortable truths. But excuses also create stagnation. Every time you accept an excuse, you delay improvement. Men who dominate life eliminate excuses from their thinking. They do not waste time explaining why something cannot be done. Instead, they focus on what must be done next. Now, this mindset does not mean ignoring challenges. It means refusing to allow those challenges to become permanent barriers. Excuses keep men stuck. Responsibility pushes them forward. One powerful aspect of responsibility is how its effects compound over time. Small improvements in behavior may not seem dramatic at first. Waking up earlier, reading regularly, improving physical health, developing new skills. These actions may feel small in the moment. But When repeated consistently over months and years, they produce massive results. Men who dominate life rarely rely on sudden breakthroughs. Instead, they rely on consistent effort. Responsibility creates the discipline required for this consistency. And consistency creates long-term success. Taking responsibility becomes most important during difficult times. Anyone can feel confident when life is going well. But real character is revealed when things go wrong. When setbacks occur, many people search for someone to blame. They focus on frustration instead of solutions. Men who dominate life respond differently. They accept that setbacks are part of growth. They analyze what happened. They adjust their strategy. And then they continue moving forward. This resilience allows them to recover faster and learn from challenges. Confidence does not appear magically. It develops through evidence. Each time you take responsibility and follow through with action, you build trust in yourself. You begin to believe in your ability to handle problems. You stop fearing obstacles because you know you can respond to them effectively. This confidence becomes a powerful advantage. It allows you to approach opportunities with courage. It allows you to face uncertainty with calm determination. And it reinforces the belief that you are capable of shaping your own future. Men who master responsibility naturally become leaders. Not necessarily because they seek authority, but because their behavior inspires trust. They keep their promises. They take action instead of complaining. They remain calm during difficulties. Others notice these qualities. They respect them. And they often look to these men for guidance. Leadership grows from reliability, and reliability grows from responsibility. Some people believe responsibility is restrictive. They assume it limits freedom. But the opposite is true. Responsibility creates freedom. It frees you from dependence on circumstances. It frees you from the cycle of blame and frustration. It frees you to design a life based on intention rather than reaction. When you take full responsibility for your habits, your time, and your direction, you gain the power to build the life you want. There is one rule that separates men who struggle from men who dominate life. It is not wealth, it is not talent, it is not even opportunity. It is responsibility. The moment a man accepts complete responsibility for his life, everything begins to change. He stops waiting for motivation. He stops blaming circumstances. He begins taking consistent action toward improvement. This mindset builds discipline. It builds confidence. It builds momentum. And over time, it builds a powerful life. So remember this rule. Men who master responsibility dominate life, because the man who owns his actions owns his future.